All right, what's up, guys? Hello. Oh, we have one person who's joined. All right, Zotin Animations. Hello there. Thank you so much for joining. I just wasn't talking because I'm waiting for more people to join. So I guess that's what we'll do. But yeah. Anyway, just before we start, I just want to say that uh, Michael. Oh, what's up? I didn't know that was your name. All right. I just wanted to say before we begin that there are certain rules for this live stream. All right. No inappropriate slash foul language. Be respectful to everyone. And three, no weird questions like, can you beat this guy up? Would you do the like? Just nothing related to that. All right. So let's try to keep it that way. But yeah, for now, we will just wait for some more people to join. So let's just hang in there. Okay, we have two people in now. So yeah, this is just another Q&A session I'm doing. And this is actually my first live stream, which I'm doing vertically. Usually in the past, when I do live streams, I do it like on my computer. Now I like with the new algorithm change for YouTube, it says vertical live streams are great for not only getting subscribers and views, but for watch time, which is another thing that you need a certain amount of for monetization. So that's why I'm doing vertical live streams now, in case you guys were wondering. All right, 3 minutes in. All right, well, for those of you who've already joined, please start off with a question so that I can answer. This is a Q&A session after all. And let's try to get this one to get some likes. What are your opinions on long Earth theory? Huh. I I'm not quite so familiar with what long Earth theory is. Like, if you can tell me a bit about what it is, then maybe I can give my opinions on it, Michael. Okay, we had three people join. Now we went down to two for some reason. Okay, so it says it's a theory that the Earth is long. Long in what sense, though? Like, what do you mean by long? Long like this or like long life? Well, what do you mean by long? Like most people think that the Earth is a sphere. Oh, okay, okay. But it's actually long, huh? Okay, and you asked me what are my opinions on it. Well, I don't know. What would I say to this? Like, yes, the Earth is a sphere, technically. Oh, you're just making things up. Dang. Zotin animations. I can't believe this. But yeah, whatever. Okay, but anyway, instead of talking about theories, the theme of today's Q&A session is actually something very specific, and it's something that's very dedicated to my personal life. And it is on, like you can already tell from the title, it is on the my martial arts journey. Like how I want to just start talking about that. Oh, we have four people join. So yeah, I'm here to answer questions on any questions you have on my journey in martial arts. Like, if you want to know about how I started off, that's great. If you'd like to ask that, if you want to know how I got to being a double black belt, that's also great. Like, let's get some questions in. Well, I guess then I'll. No one's asking any questions, so I guess I'll just start off. So, I when I first started karate, I was like, what do I say, like a below average kind of student, like, and in certain ways, like I was not very flexible. And if I'm being honest, I didn't take karate seriously for like the first 8 years of my training, if I'm being honest. Like I did not. It was only when the pandemic started where I actually started to care about it even more. And that is what, and I'm actually kind of thankful that we had a pandemic in a way, because like it kind of motivated me to like work harder on certain things in my life, which I wasn't really like caring too much about before, like pre-pandemic era. So that's something really good. Okay, we have two people who are in. I don't know why these numbers keep fluctuating. Like we had four and then like two left and all that. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Ask questions. Let me just check something out. What would you say is the best part of martial arts? That is a fantastic question. So I feel like with Natalie Harris. Hi, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so to answer your question, Zoten Animations, the best part of martial arts, I think, is that well, many people when they view martial arts, they see it as just something people use to learn how to fight. Which I mean, which is a very important part. Don't get me wrong on that. It's great for self-defense, which is something which is so handy in today's world, right? But for me, I'd say the best part of martial arts is learning to like getting better over the years. Like I'll talk about my own experience. Like when I first started, like I said, I wasn't that great of a student. I struggled with so many parts of martial arts, like including flexibility, which is super important. Other things too, like power. I had like basically no agility, speed, none of that. And but then over the years, as I started getting more and more experience, that really helped me improve. And so that's why I say improvement is probably the best part of martial arts for me. Like just learning from your what you were struggling with before, like technique wise, and then just learning from that and just keep on like getting better and always like asking for, advice from like your senseis. Like I've had the privilege of being trained under so many senseis with who also had experience in um, other types of martial arts like taekwondo and jiu-jitsu. So that also I got to learn about those and how they kind of relate to certain aspects in karate. So those were some of the really like key highlights of my martial arts experience, like for the first like decade. So there's still more to come. So can't really talk about that yet. Okay, we have three people on the stream now. Let's see. Oh, we have four. Come on, guys. We need more questions. Come on, just ask a question. Don't be shy. But just remember to keep in mind the rules of this live stream, which I've posted at the top. So, yeah. Gingerbread, are you freaky? No idea what that means. So let's. And I said no weird questions. All right. I honestly don't even know what that means. Okay, we have five people. Let's. That's good. Can't believe we're already 10 minutes in the stream. Okay. Um, let's get more questions, guys. I don't know why it's taking so long. All right, bro. I'm fine to touch you. Watch out. All right, whatever you say, man. I, And by the way, you're kind of violating the rules there, Gingerbread. I said no weird questions or comments in the rules above. So if you could please keep things a bit more appropriate, that'd be appreciated. My bad, I didn't mean that. How was your day? Oh, okay, thank you. Well, my day has actually been going great, and I'm so glad that I'm back on YouTube. I took like a month break because of certain other things going on in my life, but my day's going great because of me like finally getting the privilege to live stream again. The last time I live streamed, believe it or not, was actually 7 months ago. I think it was like end of February or something. So it's been a while. So that's this what I'm doing right now is really what I'm very happy about today so far. I'm just so glad I can be on here to answer your guys' questions. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you all, how's your day going? Anyone? How are all you doing? I got chicken pox lol. You being serious, Gingerbread? I honestly, because I'm not sure if you're just messing with me or if you're being serious. Because, these are some things that I take kind of, oh, pretty good, unfortunate, mate. Well, yeah. Oh, you're serious? Well, I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you recover from your chicken pox real soon. I, I had no idea that such things were still going on in today's days. Yeah, of course. Whenever someone isn't doing well, I feel like the least thing I can do is at least hope that they get better or they recover from it. That's just something which that's just some values, morals that I've developed as a human being over the years. Okay, we have 6 people on now. Oh, I'm actually getting so excited for more people to join, and we have why did this go from getting 1 like to 0? It's fine. Who cares? Okay, we have 1 like. All right, guys, let's have some more questions rolling, all right? Because I can only stream for like maximum 1 hour today. So, are you working or in school? Well, I did have a I did have a part-time job for a while over the summer. So that was like my first work experience. And if you're asking if I'm in school or not, that is not something which I really prefer to disclose like on this channel. I don't really like talking, like I don't really disclose personal information like age and all that, but I will tell you that I do have work experience. And also guys, if you have questions, I appreciate it being more on the theme of today's live stream. And by the way, important, if you're new to my channel, please consider smashing that subscribe button because I post videos on a weekly basis, usually on new kicking tutorials, tips, and all sorts of stuff. And I really I always listen to what my viewers want me to post. You know what I'm saying? And we only have 2. See, this is what happens. The number of people decrease because I'm here just staring. Thoughts on boxing? Okay, I'm really glad you brought that question up, Gingerbread, because I have like kind of like mixed feelings about boxing. And don't get me wrong, I think boxing is brutal. I love boxing, like I've actually recently, like over the past few months, I've had the privilege to like begin training in boxing. And in fact, I have some boxing gloves right here. And so if you're asking what my thoughts are on it, I think it's probably one of the most powerful like types of martial arts. Now, the thing is, it's not really a traditional martial art like karate, taekwondo, kung fu, and all that. It's more of like a sport type of martial art, but it's that type which can absolutely be applied in a real fight. Like those like fast punches and like learning to really like move your body like fast and well, that's something which I really appreciate about boxing. The only issue I have with it is that because when you box, your hands are up here all the time and you're like constantly just trying to throw punches to the face. I feel like boxers, they don't really protect their lower body as much, which is something very important. Like, because if your hands are only up here and you're only learning to use them up there, moreover, like you're not gonna protect other key pressure points like or very like brutal like damaging points like the solar plexus, the groin, and other stuff like you know what I'm saying. But overall, I'd say yes, for sure. If you are willing to go into some type of martial arts as a start, boxing is a great start, so I highly recommend it. And anytime in this live stream, if you guys want to see me do a demo, let me know. The thing with me is that I kind of have created my own style, like you know how some martial artists have done before. When I like train like on like the punching bag that I have over there, I actually I kind of like do a combination of karate and boxing because my main expertise is Shotokan karate. But I also put in some boxing there as well, you know, because I think both of those combined make a very destructive like combination. But that's a great question. I'm really glad someone asked me my thoughts on boxing because I feel like on my channel it's something which I haven't really gone to talk about. Really. Demo question mark? Yes. What I meant to say is if you do want me to show like a little demo like anywhere later in the live stream, like by all means, I will do it. Just probably not right now, you know, because I really want to focus on answering more questions before I just dive into a demo, especially considering that we only have like 4 people on the stream. Okay, we have 5 people. Wow. I'm noticing like these numbers are going up, then going down. So what other questions do we have, folks? We've got a lot of time left. Anyone? Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys. I have nunchucks here as well. Yeah. Now I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else I can say about boxing? Yeah, I mean, I pretty much said all that I thought. You know, it's brutal, great fast punches. Are you competitive tournaments or fights? I very another great question. So yes, I am actually going to resume competing in tournaments starting next month, end of next month. So yes, I am gonna get a bit more competitive because I kind of had to take a break from it due to like the pandemic and like other restrictions and all that. But and also I took a break from it because you know it was very like time consuming, like going for like multiple practices every week and balancing it with other aspects of my life. So that's why I had to take a break from tournaments and like fights for a while. But like I'm just really glad that I'm going to be resuming the end of next month. My next one is going to be October the 27th, which is I'm very excited about. But I'm really liking these questions, guys. So please keep it up. And make sure to subscribe to my channel. Smash that subscribe button if you want more live streams like these where I like give this type of kind of wisdom, I guess if you'd like to call it, and for other tutorials and stuff like that. I'm actually creating a plan that, to live stream at least once every like 2 weeks or so, Oh, yo, Nishant, I have to jet to get some work done. Good luck with the stream. All right. All right. Zotan Animations. Best of luck with your work, and I really appreciate you joining the stream. And have a great day. Okay, well, we lost a person, but I'm sure we'll gain more. Okay, we're at 2 likes now, and we're at 5 people. I don't get it. If we have 5 people on this stream, we should be having more questions than just from one person asking like 3, which I appreciate, but we need more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're at 3 likes now. That's great. And I just want to say to you guys who have like stayed on the stream since the start, I really appreciate that. It really means a lot because I feel like a lot of people they just join for like 1 second just to see what the person streaming looks like, and then they just leave. But I guess that happens. You know what I'm saying? We're at 4 likes. Oh no. We're at 1 person. Come on, we need more, guys. All right, let's get some more questions. Okay, we're at 3 people. Is there anyone left on this stream who has a question they'd like to ask me? Please, please, please ask it now. For goodness sake, just please ask whatever you'd like. All right, whatever you'd like to know. Oh, another question. Is there any combat sports you like watching or any fighters? Another amazing question. Gingerbread, I'd like to give you a shout out. You're asking really good questions, which no one really asks me. So shout out to you, man. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Okay, so to answer your question, is there any combat sports I like watching or any fighters? So I I do occasionally watch UFC. I do kind of like, and I do watch like those MMA fights, where like those guys are in their bare body with gloves and yeah, whatever they wear. And I do occasionally watch those, especially when we go to like bars, like restaurants that have like bars and all that. Like I just I just watch like whenever there's like a fight on the screen, I just watch it. If you're talking about any specific fighters, there is one UFC fighter who I really resonate with because he's actually trained in the same style of karate that I've been trained in for the past 12 years. His name is, I don't know if you know his name, but his name is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Oh man, he's an amazing fighter, and I really like him because a lot of people they karate is one of those martial arts which gets a lot of like mixed feelings, mixed reviews. Some people say it's great, other people on the other hand say no, it's not good for fighting, it's useless, and it's just like a balance of both. But what I like about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is that he knows how to make it work in the ring. All right, I see so many karate YouTubers, like YouTubers who teach karate who they're very good at teaching certain techniques, but they don't really explain specifically how it would be used in combat or in the ring. So Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is a fighter who I really look up to, when it comes to like watching like UFC fights and all that. I'm not sure if he still competes because it's been a while since I've seen him, but like, I mean, it's been a few months, but he's someone who I really look up to. Now, when you ask me if there are any fighters that I like watching, are you referring to only like in like the ring, or are you talking about like film actors who are also martial artists, or like, because I have a ton of those which I like as well. So if you could be a bit more specific, that would also be great. Anything. Okay, great. So yeah, I just explained in I so like if I'm being honest, I don't really watch like the ring type fights a lot. I'm just not a big fan of those. What I do watch a lot are martial arts films. Now, yeah, I know you guys who are watching are going to be like, bro, Nishant, but films are not a good representation of real life. They're all choreographed. But what a lot of people don't realize is that those a lot of the film actors we see nowadays, they're actually trained in martial arts in real life, you know? And yes, you guessed it, my favorite fighter slash martial artist of all times is the one and only Bruce Lee, right? He is someone who I really, really look up to, you know? And he's been a huge inspiration to me throughout my journey in karate, you know? I remember times when I was struggling, I had no one there to help me. And when I watched his movies, I just got a feeling of confidence. I got that little boost. And also like he was a philosopher, so he has so many great quotes. And some of which he said like you should always be yourself, you know, you should like don't listen to people who don't like believe in you, you got to just believe in yourself, you know, all that. It really resonated with me. Like even up till nowadays, like even when I get negative feelings, if I just like read his book, if I just watch some of his fight scenes, you know, oh boy, that confidence boost I get in myself is just amazing. I don't know if any of you can resonate with me on this, but I'm just saying from my personal experience, that's why I love Bruce Lee so much. And then, of course, there's also his successor. I don't really know if we should call it successor, but there's Jackie Chan as well. And you might not believe me when I say this, but I've watched like practically every movie of his. Like, I'm not even joking. Now, some of them I don't really quite remember because it's been several years, but he's also someone who I look up to, you know, and he has both him and Bruce Lee are not just they weren't just film actors, they were like martial artists in real life. They used to do live demos in front of audiences and on stage and all that. And yeah, and with Jackie Chan, what I really like about his fighting style is that when you see if you notice with him, when you watch a lot of his fights or all of his fights, in fact, you see that he uses whatever props are around him to fight. Like I don't know if you know, but there was this one fight scene where there was like a giant ladder. He used that to destroy a whole group of guys like attacking him with like swords. it, it was actually like it was kind of funny, but it was so good, well choreographed, and he has that skill. And what I also like about him is that he's a stunt man as well. And the stunts he does not use a stunt double like many other Hollywood actors. He does all the stunts on his own. He does his own stunts. Even up to the age of like 60 something, he was doing his own stunts. All right. And yeah, so that's someone who I really look up to as well. So yeah, those are just some I know I'm talking a lot about them specifically, but I'm just answering your question saying which fighters I really look up to, I really like watching, and why. And then there's also Jet Li, there's Donnie Yen, who was in John Wick Chapter 4. You know, I can name a lot, but these are the ones who I really look up to the most. But that's a great question. That's a great question. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're at 5 likes now. I'm really like these questions, guys. Let's keep getting some more, you know? Wait, I'm just getting something's going on. All right, any other questions? I have half an hour left to stream, so anything goes. All right. Do you like karate for functionality, or is there more to it than just combat? Oh, we have 9 people on the stream now. That's great. Okay, I'm so glad you asked me about what like my thoughts on karate as well. And it's something which I can actually explain a lot about as I've had like more than a decade of experience in it. So you're asking if I like karate for functionality, or is there more to it than just combat? I have to think about that a little bit. I'd say yes, I definitely do like it for functionality, and here's why. It's like I said actually a few minutes ago when I was explaining something else, that karate is one of those martial arts that has a lot of mixed feelings towards it. Some people think it's really good. Some people say yes, it works in a fight 100%. There are some others who say no, it's bad, no, it's useless and all that. Like I'm used to hearing this, all right? As someone who's a trained karateka and a black belt for a long time. And I can say that I certainly like it for functionality because at our dojo, like what a lot of dojos do is some of them they just teach karate for just just for making students pass from belt to belt, and if that's the case, they that type of karate is useless and not very like functional. But the dojo that I go to, it's not just learning katas, learning techniques and all that. It's also how to apply them, which is why I really like it for functionality. And there is more to it than just combat. I can definitely say that. The thing with martial arts is that a lot of people see it as just something that people use to get better at fighting, as I explained earlier on in this stream. But karate is more than just that. It's kind of like a way of life, if you know what I'm saying. Like through my experience, it has helped me change as a person as well. Not just get better at like self-defense, but like it helped me grow as a person, and I'm just so privileged that I've been under the influence of so many wonderful senseis in my life who have taught me important life lessons. So yes, there is certainly more to karate than just combat. uh, how do you develop the passion for karate? Well, I'll say that for me, I became passionate about it just by just getting more experience, and like just like what's really good is that at each belt level you learn new things, and it's not in as you get higher in karate, it's not just like everything you learned before is no longer it's like no longer useful. It's not like, yeah, okay, I really learned it before, goes in the trash. No, that's not how it works. Even at black belt, you have to like master stuff that you learned at white belt. That's why when we in black belt tests nowadays, they still ask you to show stuff from when you were in white belt, because those stuff are the fundamentals to becoming a good karateka, all right? And that's why white belt's the first level, because that really is like it's like the first stepping stone to your journey in karate. So I mainly developed the passion for karate by just being patient, and like even when things got boring and like I was just like, I don't want to learn this anymore. I just waited, and that's why now like I'm learning stuff which I never expected that I'd learn. So that's how I built my passion for it. That's a long answer, but that's how. We're at 5 likes and we're at 3 people watching. We'll get more. No problem. I really like that question. That's a great question. A lot of that when you asked how did I develop the passion for karate, I feel like that's something which not many people care to ask me about. Many people just ask me stuff like, oh, how is it used in a fight? But then I try to explain to them that there's more to it than just fighting. I explain this to everyone who I teach and all my friends and all that. And yeah. Okay. What is the most important aspect of karate that you like? I'd say the most important aspect of karate that I like is discipline. And discipline isn't just an aspect that applies to just karate. It applies to pretty much like every martial art, or at least most of them. And karate, within that, also karate, like has itself has actually helped me become more disciplined, you know. Because like when I first started, I never used to really pay attention to like when the senseis were teaching, and I was like here and there. My mind was here and there. I was not focused. But and also like I was for some classes, I remember I was very lazy to like go to them. I just didn't feel like going. But over time I realized that karate is that type of thing where you you need to have discipline for it. And that actually goes to martial arts in general. Like I said, you need to have that discipline, right? And through every year I felt like I was just progressing even better as a student, and discipline is one of those aspects which I really like, and which is something I've gotten better at consistently, you know. So a lot of this is mainly like experience based, and like every like training so much over these few like past decades. So yeah. Thank you for the great response. Oh, my pleasure. I always like whenever I get asked questions like these, like which are very insightful, I always try to give a great response. So it's no problem at all. I really glad you like that response. All right, let's get more people. Okay, we have 3 people now. Okay, I have about 20 minutes remaining on the stream, so let's try to get some more questions, guys. We're at 6 likes. That's good. Better than what I've gotten before. Have you ever procrastinated learning any katas? Hmm, that's a great question. You know, the thing is, katas is something which I have recently had a huge liking for. And so that to answer your question, I'll say if you're asking me like as of like nowadays, no, I don't procrastinate learning any katas. Like the day I learn a new kata, I learn it that day and I keep it in my mind forever. If you were asking the version of me from like a few years ago or back when I didn't used to take karate very seriously, yes, I did I did procrastinate on learning certain katas. And that's why when it got close to like belt tests and all that, sometimes I I what do I say? Like even like if it was just a couple days before a belt test, sometimes I wouldn't remember a whole kata. And then at that point, I realized like, oh shoot, I really need to master it before I test. So yes, now I don't procrastinate on any learning any katas, but before, yes, I have. Let's see, what is all this? But that's a great question again. Okay, we have 2 people on the stream, but let's I'll keep it going for another 20 minutes just in case anybody else has any questions they'd like to ask. Anything that you are aiming for through this martial art? Yes, there are certain things I am aiming for through learning karate. One of them is for sure. learning like more like practical applications of certain katas I've learned at this belt, and more to come because obviously there are 10 degrees in karate and I'm testing for a second in May. That's one thing for sure I'm aiming to learn more about in through training in this martial art. The other thing that I'm obviously actually no, I kind of already said that. The only other aims I have are like just progressing higher in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand that to get from one degree black belt to the next and then so on, it takes a lot of dedication. And that's why I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there, no matter how long it takes, no matter what age I'll be by then, no matter how busy life gets. You gotta keep at it and stay consistent with your training, which is something extremely important in martial arts. Consistency is something which so many people lack. So many people don't. It's like a very underrated tip that a lot of people get. So many people are inconsistent. They'll like train for a couple months, they'll leave for like 6 months, and then they'll return again. Now I understand, yes, sometimes life that just happens in life. You will have to take breaks like that. But like some people even do it, like still do it even when there aren't any like circumstances causing them to do so. So yeah, I know I kind of went a bit off topic, but just another important point to mention while answering that question. Awesome. You are a very dedicated person. Thank you. That's what I like. That's what I like hearing, you know? I am dedicated. Um, okay, we're at 4 people. Let's get, I have 15 minutes left, so let's get some more questions. Oh, we need more. We need a few more people on the stream. Okay. Well, if nobody else has any more questions, before I end the stream, there are just a few kind of like key takeaways I'd like to give, to whoever's watching. Another question. How do you juggle between things that you do? Uh, I'm sorry. How do I juggle between things I do? Well, I mean, sometimes what I like to do is I like to think of it kind of like as a schedule. Like I think of like, oh, at this time, this day, I'll do this, and then after that, I'll take a break, and then I'll do this other thing. Like kind of doing that is kind of a strategy I use sometimes. And if I do like delay on certain things that I'm supposed to do, I try to compensate for that time missed at the end. That's one way I kind of juggle through the things that I do. No problem. It's my pleasure. Okay, yeah, so back to what I was saying before that question got asked. The few key takeaways I'd like to give you all watching and whoever's going to drop in and all that, is that when you train in in a certain martial art, no matter what it is, whether it's karate, taekwondo, kung fu, boxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, you have to have the right mindset into whichever one you're doing, all right? And what I mean by that is that you need to not only think positive and just ignore what other people are saying about it because you know you enjoy it, but it also has to do with just understanding what that martial art is trying to train you for, all right? And within that, you also need to realize that it's not trying to train you just for the sake of like getting better at fighting or learning like new techniques and that, which is very important. But also, you need to understand that that it's trying to help you grow as a person, you know. And personal growth is another very, very, very key aspect in training martial arts, right? I'm telling you, and I'm not. It's not just me saying that. I've heard from others who have said that they've really changed as a person when they've trained in a certain type of martial art. All right, and yeah, and then there's the discipline, and just make sure that you're consistent in your training. Make sure you just have the right spirit. And also another important thing that I've learned is that when you do, when you are dedicated to a certain martial art, don't listen to what other people say about it, right? Like there will be so many people, like every martial art has people that are against it, right? Karate has people that are against it. Taekwondo, even like there people say, "Oh, it doesn't work. This is not good. This is blah blah blah." But it's important to remember that you know that what they're saying is just all talk, right? You're the one who's putting what you say to action, right? Like, remember, people who say that whatever this so and so martial arts useless and all that, they have no way of proving it. They either just form those opinions just based off like a few like 30-second clips they see on YouTube of someone doing a kata, and then they're just like, yeah, it's more of a dance than actual combat. But like, they don't understand how it's applied. But the fact that you, as someone who's trained in it, should or will eventually learn it, how it would be used, that is that's way more important, all right? So yeah, just don't listen to the people who say that, oh yeah, you're not gonna make it anywhere in this martial art, you're not gonna, it's this is blah blah blah. Because remember, it's all just talk. You are the one putting your training to action. That's very important, all right? So yeah. And it's not just in martial arts, even in life in general. Like there will always like no matter what you do in life, like there will always be people in society who criticize you, like for anything. And the same goes with martial arts training as well. All right. So just if you are interested, go for it and keep training in it. There were times where I felt like giving up, times where I felt like I didn't want to do it anymore, but I am just so glad that I never gave up. Like considering where I'm at now, I'm not trying to brag, I'm so glad I never gave up. That's the thing. You have to like really part of having that good mindset I was talking about a few minutes ago was, you really have like it's also telling yourself, you can say it out loud or in your mind that I can do this and I will not let other people drag me down. That's the type of mindset you need, all right? And even another important thing is even when you're teaching others, like teaching kids and all that, you need to remember that you need to set a good example for them, all right? There are certain martial arts coaches that teach their students very bad things. Like I'm not trying to get inappropriate or anything, but like I'm talking about bad things related to like other martial arts. Like there have been Muay Thai coaches who have taught their students, and believe me when I say this, there have been Muay Thai coaches that have taught their students stuff like karate is garbage, it's useless, and it looks pretty but it doesn't work. Taekwondo is like this, blah blah blah. So it's very important that even when you're teaching, you got to make sure that you're setting a good example for your students, right? You got to you have to be that good leader, all right? And you should not try to manipulate their minds into thinking that something is useless when it actually isn't, all right? Like like whatever thoughts you have about other martial arts, just keep it to yourself. There is no need to lash it out and just say straight up that, oh, it's garbage. Just keep it to yourself. Because not only is it just not good on your part and just doesn't look good on your part and makes you look like you're not a good example, but also it's going to demotivate the people who are training in that martial art. If you tell them it's useless, it'll never work, you're demotivating them. But you don't want that. If you really are a good person, you'd encourage them instead, no matter what thoughts you have. So that's just one thing I want to you guys to keep in mind if you go into not only training martial arts, but even if you want to go as far as teaching it, which is something that I do nowadays as well. I always enjoy watching your videos. That means so much. Thank you so much for saying that. I post videos because I'm passionate about it, not because I want fame, not because I want popularity, money, and all that, just because I'm passionate about it. And I always consider what my viewers want me to make a video on. That's why if ever viewers like comment something saying, "Hey, Nishant, could you please make tutorial on how to do this technique and all that?" I'll be like, "Sure, absolutely." And then like the next day or so, I'll drop it. That's another very important thing I've learned, in karate is that like the importance of listening to your students or whoever you're teaching or whoever is watching you. You have to like also put yourself in their shoes, all right? Which is very important because like especially if you're someone who makes like more advanced like tutorials on like advanced stuff, you like if someone asks you, "Hey, can you make a tutorial on something like much simpler?" You're like, "Why would I make a tutorial on something that simple which anyone can do?" But that's again that all goes back to that's the wrong mindset. You need to put yourself in their shoes. You need to like be like, okay, well, if they're struggling to learn this, maybe I should think about how I also struggled to learn it back in the day. And so that's something which I really think about when I get, get comments like that, right? So yeah, it's very important listening to your students and putting yourself in their shoes, all right? If they're struggling to learn something, don't make fun of them. Don't humiliate them. Put yourself in their shoes. Understand that you were also like them. You struggled like that back in the day as well, right? Sorry, I know I was talking a bit harsh, but that's just how I kind of talk when I speech. Geller, thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad. You asked me what's up? Well, nothing much. I've been just explaining some very key takeaways from today's live stream theme to all my viewers. I hope you're having a great day. And I'm glad finally a moderator has joined the live stream, which is really good. All right. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, it's very important. Why not invite your friends? I have invited them, but some people are just too busy. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Like mindset is such an important thing to like positive mindset is such an important thing to have when training martial arts, right? And it works in many different ways. You need to have the right mindset when people tell you certain things. You need to have the right mindset when you're teaching students. You need to have the right mindset when you're training. That's how you need to apply it. It's not just like, yeah, I can do this. I'm better than everyone. No, you do not think like that. No one's perfect. We got to, remember that we also struggled back in the day. And even nowadays, we might struggle on certain things. But the important part is that we don't stay or remain struggling on that. The important part is that we keep like growing from our mistakes and learning to get better over time. All right. Anyone can join if they are serious. 100%. I agree with that. Very inspirational. Yes, of course. I feel like sometimes when I give speeches like these when I'm explaining something, I talk a bit too much like an inspirational speaker. Like I try to act like a wannabe one, but like a lot of people like compliment me for that. So it's something I appreciate. So thank you so much, Gellert. You are one. I am one what? Sorry, what do you mean by that? Inspirational person. Thank you. Yeah, and that's why even on my Instagram, like every week, I try posting like inspirational quotes because if there's anything I know, it's that you should never judge someone because you never know what they could be going through in their personal life. All right. Because some like bad people, they, oh, podcast recap. Sensei, should I get that bread or get that head? Not quite sure what that means. Please make sure that the questions you ask are appropriate, all right? So back to what I was saying is that um and it also relates to what I was saying before about when you're teaching students how you have to put yourself in their shoes. And it kind of goes back to what I just said. Like you should never judge someone because you never know what they could be going through, all right? Because remember, we're all different. We're all different people, right? We need to understand that just because we're good at a certain thing, and this doesn't just apply to martial arts, it applies to anything, just because we're good at a certain aspect of life or whatever we're doing, that doesn't mean that other people, like everyone else who you see, will also be as good, all right? And we all have room for improvement. Even in the stuff which we claim we've mastered, we still have room for improvement. We still can get better from it, all right? So that's why I really don't like those like artists who are like, yeah, like I'm the best because like yeah. So what I was saying is I really don't like those martial arts people that are like, um, I'm just better than everyone. I can beat anyone in a fight and all that. And I don't like that because it's like I said, it's just saying that, oh, I can beat you in a fight and all that. That's not gonna make you some like legend or some extraordinary person. You have to have good morals too. Morals is also something that not just applies to any like to this any ordinary person. It also applies to martial artists as well. You need to have morals when you teach, when you train, and moreover when you're learning, right? And and you also need to have that like open mind, all right? When you're learning something new and you find it boring, like you shouldn't just immediately get that mindset that, oh my god, I don't want to train in this anymore, it's so boring. And believe me, I've had students who have been like that. When I train them in something and I show it to them multiple times just so that they can get better at it for like their good, they just go and like they tell me, Nishant, this is so boring, I don't want to learn this anymore, why are we doing it? And I'm like, part of martial arts is practicing what you've already learned over and over again. All right? That, and it's like what I said a while ago in this live stream, that even at black belt, you still have to practice stuff. Like at least in my dojo and several other dojos, you have to practice stuff over again from white belt, like even basics like face block, like having a good horse stance and all that. Because those stuff again are like, that's like the first stepping stone to your journey in the martial arts, right? And like I'm talking about like ones that use the belt system, like that's what I mean, you know? Sensei, how did you learn this and get used to it? Geller, what specifically are you talking about? Like, how did I learn what and get used to it? What are you referring to? Dealing with boring classes and hard tasks. I'm very glad you asked that. Well, I can I can certainly say that through my experience in karate, I had a ton of boring classes. And I remember back in the day, I was getting so frustrated when I was learning something which was not to my interest at all in any way. And I remember that very well. And that's why when I teach students who also feel the same way as what I did when I was their age, I resonate with that. I don't yell at them. I don't be like, pay attention. Don't talk to me like this. Sit out. Like, I'm not like that at all. All right. Like, I'm not like those senseis that are like super strict like that. And it goes back to what I was saying before. I like to put myself in other people's shoes, you know? Yeah, Gellert, I teach students. Of course I do. What kind of sensei would I be if I didn't teach students, you know? Yeah, so that's why when I teach students, like if they feel a certain way that I felt back in the day, like, if they feel certain emotions that I also felt back in the day when I was their age, I try to put myself in their shoes. I think about how I'd be feeling if I was them. That's why I don't believe in like yelling at like students when they do something wrong, or like especially like not get aggressive or anything. I try to like show compassion. Try to show kindness and like show them that I care about their well-being and their growth as not just a martial artist, but even as just a person. I teach students what age? Okay, well, I'm not really going to talk about age much, but I teach students who are like up to black belt, like up to my level. I teach a lot of green belts, I teach a lot of brown belts. I've taught a few first degree black belts before. And especially, I have had a long history of teaching white belts as well, the little white belts who just start, because I have a lot of like compassion for them, and because I know very much I remember very much my reaction, or like how I felt when I first started karate as a white belt, being bored, never paying attention to teachers. So like when I'm teaching white belts and like they're wandering around a little bit, I try not to raise my voice at them. I try to be like, hey, it's okay. We will get through this one way or the other. Sensei, you're so close to 410 subs. Thank you for that. Yeah, I know. Thanks, yo. I'm trying to get people who are joining this live stream to, subscribe. Yeah. hmm So yeah, so when you ask me how I dealt with boring classes and hard tasks, for me it was just having a good mindset, which is something I'm putting so much emphasis on today because it's just so, so, so important, right? Because usually, as human beings, when we're faced with a challenge in our life, when we're faced with a boring class or like a hard task, our immediate emotional reaction is, I don't want to do this. What's going to happen? Oh no. Like we start to panic. It can go that far. So that's why I keep that good mindset because I know that even if it's boring now, like as of now when I'm learning it, it can potentially try to help. It can potentially help me later on in life. You know, that's exactly, and that's why the stuff which I learned back in the day, like at white belt, yellow belt, which were so boring, and all that. I just told I eventually, like, nowadays I realized that learning all that was so important, and I wish that back then I would have had that good mindset. But again, it's normal for us as human beings that when we're faced with a challenge in life, we get that reaction. Completely normal. That's why we've got to learn that whenever something like that happens, we have to just think a bit differently. All right, think unorthodoxly in a good way. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Okay, we have three people on the stream. Okay, let's try to get some more people. I guess part of the reason why I'm not getting that many people is because I haven't posted a video in a while, so I guess that could have impacted as well. Hmm. Sensei, what are your upcoming plans for the channel? I'm glad you asked. So recently, because I have stuff, like other stuff in my life outside my channel that have really been taking over my mind, I haven't really had the opportunity to make too many plans about my channel. But what I do plan, one plan I have is that on the next month, I'll try to get a video of me competing in the tournament, and I'll try to post it on my channel to show. And if I win or lose, like, to me, it really doesn't matter that much anymore compared to back in the day. And something I try to keep in my mind, before this tournament that I'm going to be competing in next month, because as human beings, we always think that we have to win at everything we do in life. We have to like prove that we're better than people, especially if there are people who are trying to like demotivate us, trying to make us feel like worse than them. We try to feel like, okay, I have to prove to everyone that I'm better than them. I can do this, I can do that. But the truth is, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. The only person you have to prove yourself to and compete with is yourself, right? That's something which I had to take a long time learning, all right? It's something which I had to get used to learning. Like, because I'm someone who has I'm one of those people who have dealt with a lot of like really rude comments growing up. Like, people have said awful things to my face and all that. And And then like I always felt that desire and that like need and feeling desperate to like prove them wrong. And you hear a lot of like people say that if someone's trying to make you feel bad, prove them wrong. But again, it comes to my point. The truth is you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to prove anything to them. Let them think what they do. Because for anything you do in life, there will always be people in society who criticize you. But the important part is, because of that, knowing that you should not let other people's opinions, especially the negative ones about you, affect you to that extent. All right? Just be like, just take it in through one ear, take it out of the other. Simple as that. I feel bad that people talk bad about you. Thank you so much, Gellert. That honestly means a lot to me. Yes, in my life, there have been a lot of people that have said really bad things to me, not just on my YouTube channel, not on my Instagram reels, but in real life as well. Especially when I was growing up. Like I still remember certain things that people back in the day said about me, that like I'm not gonna make it anywhere in life, and that I'm just no one, I'll amount to nothing, blah blah blah. You're like this, you look like that. But as of today, where I am now, I realized, who are those people? Where are they now? Who are they? Who were they back then to say that I'm not gonna make it anywhere in life? And that's very important too. When you deal with like in life, there will be people. Like I was watching an interview on, like, a celebrity was being interviewed, and they said this. They said very specifically, in life there will, like, not just bad people that will come, there will be people who try to turn your strengths into weaknesses, or try to make your strengths seem like a weakness. Don't let them. Don't let them do that to you, all right? So if people are going around telling you that you're not going to amount to anything, you're not going to do this, blah blah blah, all those nasty things, just be like, just be like, okay, whatever you say, or like just know in your mind that, or just ask yourself, who are they? Who are they to say that? Like, if someone's telling you you're not going to be successful when you're older, and it's just some ordinary person like you know, just be like, who are you to say that? Why are you saying that to me? And like, why are you like, it's like that. Like, you're not Elon Musk or something to tell other people that they won't be successful. Like, so just, that's how you have to think about it. And I wish I thought like that back then, especially at the time when people were, saying those stuff to me. I should have just been like back then. Who are they to say that? Like, who do you think you are? And why are you so obsessed with saying these things to not just me, but other people? And then that's what I've come to realize over the years, like over these past 3 years, I mean, 4 years, that people who make fun of you are insecure about themselves. They have something going on in their life which they're unhappy about, or they're just insecure about, which could even lead to them being jealous. They might know on the inside that maybe you're going through a better time than they are. So they want to say something to try to like demean you, try to make you feel like you're lower than them. But you just don't let them. Just like, it's all just talk. That's how you have to think about it. Like, for example, if somebody calls you, some people have called me a monkey before. Does that mean that I'm going to become a monkey? If someone calls you a dog, does that mean you're going to become a dog? No. So similarly, if people are saying you're going to be this, you're going to be that, just be like, that's not going to happen. That's the mindset you have to. And again, I'm coming back on this, like, the putting emphasis on having the right mindset. You know what I'm saying? Let the haters be the motivators. Yes, Geller, that is true. Let the haters be the motivators, but at the same time, speaking of that, you shouldn't feel obliged to or feel the need to try to prove anything to them. They're not God or like some big huge figure that you have to prove yourself to. You know what I'm saying? Awesome thinking and moving on, Sensei. Thank you so much. Yes. Moving on is another very important part in life. Like, even like up till a few couple months ago, I had this condition in my mind that sometimes when I'd be alone, I'd start getting flashbacks of like awful memories from like back in the day and all that. And but then I realized that those stuff may have affected me back then, but that doesn't mean that they have to affect me moving forward. That's why it's so important. It's moving forward is so important. Turning the page. And I actually have heard this really great saying a couple years ago. Saying that it said that you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one, right? And like what that basically means is you can't move on in your life if you keep thinking about the past. All right? Don't worry about the past. The past is something which has had affected me for a long time because no, but not anymore. Like if I talk about what I was talking about a few minutes ago, like those people who were telling me those awful stuff about me not being successful and older. Now, right now, like I'm at a place where I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm like where are they now that they were someone to say to me back then that I wouldn't make it anywhere. I've accomplished certain great things in my life even despite, people saying all those things to me, which happened after that. And like in my mind, like at first I was like, yeah, I proved them wrong and all that, but then I realized there's no point in proving them wrong. Hello, Varun. Thank you so much for joining. Geller, you're asking, are you okay? Yeah, of course I'm okay. Why are you asking me if I'm okay? Like I am okay, okay, right? I don't know why you just asked me that out of nowhere. I'm glad we're getting new people on the stream, It feels really good. So yeah, my main point, guys, is like I said, people will try to make you feel bad in life. There will be people who try to make you feel like you're worse than everyone, all that. Don't let them. You got to keep telling yourself on the inside, within, like from within, you know that you are better. You know very well that what they're saying is completely, like absolutely not true. That's what you have to think, right? Like that's the way you have to think. And another important thing that I learned of moving on in life is you have to have hope. Hope is something you need to have, all right? And it's okay to be doubtful at times. It's okay to like doubt yourself and be like that's natural for some people, like being like, oh, what if like and those people who deal with that, I resonate with that very much because I always was that person who thought that, oh, what if I don't end up like this when I'm older? What if I don't do this and all that? But the important part is you live in the present, all right? The future will happen, all right? Like you can't predict that yet. You have to just live in the present. That's why I've also another very important saying I've heard is let go of the past because you can't change it and don't think about the future which you don't even know yet. You have to live in the present. All right. That's something very important that I've learned. All right. Let's live in the present. Just don't focus on what happened before and don't think too much. It's okay to think about the future to some extent. It's okay to make plans that, I'm going to do this and all that, but don't worry too much about it. Like don't worry, oh, what if it doesn't happen? What if this doesn't happen? Like it'll all come along. As long as you just keep working hard, you keep a good mindset, you keep that spirit, it'll all come. And another important thing I've learned is if you follow your passion, you will always be successful, right? So you shouldn't let other people influence you. You shouldn't let them like try to decide for you which path you're going to take when you're older, all right? Like anyone. You are in control of your own life, right? You're in control of your own life, right? It's not other people. Because let's be honest, when you become successful, they're not going to be the ones who are. They might not necessarily be the people who will be there for you, or like they're not going to like give you a job, give you a certificate, medal, like whatever award or something. So yeah, just just have that confidence and faith within yourself, and just live with the present. And that's something which I also feel like I need to work on, especially. So correct. Think of the present. Yes, thinking of the present is crucial. Okay, we're at 7 likes. Okay, not bad at all. All right. Okay, guys, let's get some more questions. Come on. Wait, someone wrote, "Listen to Timeless by The Weekend." Oh, I mean, okay, well, I'll definitely give it a listen, but I don't think I'll listen to it live right now. Yeah. All right. Well, how is school, Sensei? It's not going too bad. It's going pretty good. Varun, I hope things are going well in your life as well. You know, like I hope you're doing well as well. So yeah, I'm doing good, but I also hope the same for you and for whoever's watching this stream right now. And I want you all to know whatever challenges you're going through in life now, it is only preparing you to face even more in the future. All right. Like, you know, like when you're dealing with something in your life right now, when you know it is a natural reaction to feel demotivated and feel like, what if I can't do this and all that. But remember, every challenge is a like it's like setting you up, like it's building that resilience within you to overcome something even greater, a greater challenge in the future. That's another important part to having that mindset. See, having a good mindset applies in so many ways, all right? It's not just thinking positively, but also thinking realistically, thinking intelligently, if you like to call it, you know. How long is this session for, Sensei? Okay, well, I mean, seeing how the live stream is doing, we have 4 people and we have 7 likes, and I've been getting quite a lot of great questions from my loyal fans. So let's try to keep this stream going for another 10 minutes and then I'll end it. And remember, because I have 10 minutes left, ask me as many questions as you'd like, because the next time I can stream will probably not be until like 2 or 3 weeks. All right. How is the exercise plan going? Well, yes, working out is something I've been staying consistent with for the most part, and it's going quite great. I don't really like to call it an exercise plan. I just like calling it working out. You know what I'm saying? I just I of course I've been keeping up with it. You know, I've been training on the punching bag every day, you know, getting that like movement going. I've been doing cardio, I've been doing running and all that, walking a lot, especially, you know, just going on walks when it's nice weather and other stuff, good stuff too, you know. And I've been even more active in karate now as I prepare for the tournament next month. So, yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on in my life recently. Hope everything's going well for you all as well. Yeah, I know I'm at 409 subscribers. The thing is, Nishant 1K 2025. I actually like that. I like that tag, actually. I'm hoping by end of 2025 to have at least 1K subs. At least 1K. Because like let's be honest, I'm gonna be honest, like I won't be able to post like very frequently, so it's expected that my channel won't grow as fast as it did over the summer, but I will try to be as consistent as I can. You know what I'm saying? Nishan 1K 2025. Okay, okay. You don't need to keep spam comment that, Varun. You don't have to keep doing that. Let's see. Anything more? We have 4 people left. I wonder if those 4 people will say anything before I end the stream. Oh, shoot. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, but speaking of Nishant 1K 2025, I I'm hoping that 2025 is going to be a really good year for me, and I think it will, because next year I have some pretty good things that are going to be happening in my life, and I also have some plans for this channel as well. And but again, it's like I said, we have to live in the present. So I need to worry about finishing 2024 first before thinking about 2025, and I think that's something we all have to remember as well, right? Because I can't predict this channel's future really, so we'll just go with whatever it does, or however it goes. I'm noticing that the live stream number. Oh, Nishant, great going, Sensei. Wish you all the best for future plans too. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Nishant, keep stream up for 5 to 10 more minutes. All right. Well, I'll only keep it up for that long if more people decide to join. If I'm noticing there aren't any more questions or any more people joining, then I might have to cut it early. But yes, for now, the tentative plan is that I'll keep it for another like 10 minutes. So, right. Okay, is now considering I'm only staying for another 5 to 10 minutes, is there any other questions, guys? I'd love to keep giving more insightful, inspirational answers. Makes me feel good when I do that, believe it or not. I'm trying to get more people to join. All right, well that's great, Varun. I'm really glad you're trying to do that, because if you do get more people to join, I'll stream for another 10 minutes for sure. Absolutely. For now, let's just this. Okay. Oh no, we have 3 people. No, come on, guys. This is what happens when I stay idle for so long. When I don't answer questions, people start to leave. But it's okay. I'll try to think of something else to tell you while we wait for more people joining. All right. Um. Yeah. So my whole point, the whole main idea of like why I wanted to do this stream today, it's not only because I was available today, unlike other days, but also because I really wanted to take the time to explain to you guys, or to you all, about how certain values of life that we learned growing up, how that applies to martial arts. All right. And I also wanted to talk about like how martial arts, how you should perceive it. All right. Because remember, different people will have different perceptions. Some people will only train in martial arts for the sake of getting a black belt. All right. Which is a very impressive achievement, but that's not the only reason you should train. All right. Me getting a black belt, I didn't start training in karate just for the sake of getting a black belt. I started training it because I knew, and people close to me knew, that it would help me grow as a person and I'd learn from it. It's the experience that matters the most, all right? And you should try to get the most from your learning experience, all right? Because if you don't, then what's the point of learning, right? So, and also I am so glad that again I never gave up, because I learned so many good morals about life by training in karate, which was also because of the fact that I was, under the influence of so many wonderful senses in my life. And that's another important thing I want to tell you guys, that no matter how many bad people come into your life and how many people will try to like demean you and say awful things to you, the important part is that you you surround yourself with people who protect your name in your absence. All right, you want to be around people who are there for you in both your worst and your best times. All right, like I've had so many friends who were only there for me during my best times, but during my worst times or like my low times, they were never there for me. So you have to ask yourself, if that's happening to you, if you have a friend that's like that, are they really a true friend? The friends that I have nowadays and the friends that you guys should be keeping nowadays are people who help you in both your best and your worst times, who support you through both. All right. So that just all goes to say, surround yourself and surround yourself with people who are, who not only you're like close with and are good people, but who are there for you during your low and your high times. All right, like your like best and your worst. Right, and that's something which I've actually gone a lot better at, because I realized that a friend who is there for you only when they need something from you isn't a friend at all. In that case, they're just taking advantage of you. And being taken advantage of is something which I'm sure none of us like experiencing. All right? MB Attacker, Nishant Sensei. Hello there, MB Attacker. Do I know you? I don't remember who you I don't remember, like, do I know you in any way? Yes, Varun, what I said was so true, right? Yeah. Coffee, yeah. Yes, we have another moderator that joined. Yes, this is what we need. Thank you so much for joining, Coffee. I remember you telling me yesterday you would join, and I was waiting for you to join this past hour. Yeah. I cleared my schedule to make it. I appreciate that very much, Coffee. You know, I really do. So thank you so much for doing that. I was this whole life for those of you who just joined this whole live stream, I was just talking about, what I've learned from my martial arts experience over the past 12 years, and what how having a good mindset is key to martial arts like experience, and also throughout your whole life. All right, and I talked about certain things like, putting yourself in other people's shoes, like getting to know someone before you judge them. And it's like I say, never judge someone, as you never know what they're going through in their personal life, what they're experiencing. Yeah. And I also talked about, certain morals you need to have as a leader or as a teacher in martial arts, and also as a leader in real life as well. Very important. Okay, well, we're at 5 people. We're at 6 people, and we have 7 likes. Okay. My main goal of this stream was to try to get like at least 10 people on the stream, but even if we get to like 7 or 8, that's fine as well. I'm here to just answer anyone's questions or anything anyone would like to ask. But I must say, it feels so good to be back here streaming again after 7 months. Really feels good. Okay, guys, I really don't want to be here idle, so any questions you have would be great. Sensei, what's the biggest karate tournament or competition? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Coffee. Are you talking about like what's the biggest karate tournament or competition I've been to, or what's like the biggest one in the world? Like could you be a bit more specific? What's the biggest in the world? Oh, um, that's a good question. I honestly not. The thing is, I'm only familiar with like the WK. Like, actually no. To answer that question, I think I can't really answer what's the name of the biggest tournament or competition, but I can say the biggest like brand that hosts karate competition and tournament, and it's called WKF, World Karate Federation. They are by far the biggest like karate like tournament slash competition like organizer, you know? And they do a lot for the karate community, all right? They make sure that there are tournaments every month for people and all that. Is that like the UFC? I mean, it is similar to UFC in a way, but UFC is like mixed martial arts. It's not just karate. It's like other stuff too, you see. And but so like that's the main difference. WKF, World Karate Federation, is karate based only, like kata and like sparring, whereas UFC is just MMA in the ring. So that's kind of a big difference. But yes, in a way they are kind of similar to each other. All right. I really Today's stream is going very well, guys. I'm getting a lot of great questions. Okay, actually, let's do a little poll. I actually want to ask you guys something. How often would you guys like me to live stream like this? Do you want me to try to do it every weekend, once every 2 weeks, or just what? Just give your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Every weekend? Yeah, I'm actually do kind of have a plan to do it every weekend, but there are certain weekends where it just isn't possible because of like other things outside my channel, like other things in my personal life, like activities and all that. But yes, I'll try to do it as often as I can for sure. That I can guarantee. But as often as I can vary. It can be once every 2 weeks. It can probably be twice every month. Like it will really depend. There are other circumstances too. But it's like the great Jackie Chan once said, don't let circumstances control you. You have to be the one to change your circumstances, right? You're the one in control of your circumstances. It's not your circumstances that are in control of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you're happy with that because I'm not quite sure if every weekend is going to be possible, but yes, as often as I can, that I can guarantee. Are you using a drill? Oh, no, no, sorry. That sound was just a Snapchat notification I got. Yeah, no, I'm not using a drill. I know it sounded like a drill, but it's not. It was just a notification from Snap. That's a good question, though. It did sound a lot like a drill. And yeah, my plan is that the next time I live stream will probably be, if not next weekend, it would probably have to be the weekend after, like the Thanksgiving long weekend. I'll try. The thing is, I really wish I could stream again tomorrow, but tomorrow I have another competition, so I can't do it tomorrow. And Sunday won't work for me either because I'll be out of home half the day. But I'll keep you guys posted. I'll assure you on that. Wait, sorry, there's something going on here. Oh, Michael, you wrote, everyone watch Nishant Sensei's live stream. Oh my God, I don't know how, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, Coffee, for you doing that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it when people post these links in the group chat. I probably should have promoted it on my Instagram story as well, but I just, I just don't really, I don't know why I don't do it. It just, I don't really know how to like, because from now on, I'm going to be streaming on my, like vertically on my phone. I don't really know how to like paste the link on Instagram story. If it was on my computer, yeah, I could. But yeah, and if you guys are wondering, the reason why I'm streaming vertically on my phone right now is because according to the latest YouTube algorithm change, it says vertical live streams are getting a lot more popular because like holding the phone vertically is how people normally hold the phone, right? And so that's why they said that like also vertical live streams show up in like shorts feeds as well, so that'll really get more like audience like impressions, click-through rates, and more watch time for sure. Oh, I can't believe I've been sitting here for more than 1.5 hours, more than 90 minutes. But again, I'm used to it, you know. Okay, anything else? W. Yes, that's it. Everyone calls me a W. Yesterday somebody called me a what was that word he used? A a G? Like some of these like slang terms I'm not quite familiar with, but yeah. Some people call me a goat, like the goat. I sort of know what that means, but yeah. Appreciate appreciate you saying that, Coffee. Shout out to you. And I'm glad I have you kept as a moderator because, some some bad things happen on live stream sometimes, so it's important to have the right people as moderator. Sensei, is IB worth it? Aren't you in IB though? Oh, but are you asking me like, is it going to be worth it later on? Is that what you're trying to ask me, Coffee, or do you mean something else? Oh, okay. So you're asking about later on. Well, IB, we all know it stands for International Baccalaureate, right? And if you look at that international part, you can kind of tell that like universities in Canada, like most of them, like they won't care if you're an IB or not. But if you apply like internationally, obviously, then yes, they will consider IB more. So if you're asking to me if IB is worth it, you have to first ask yourself, like, do you plan on staying in Canada or do you plan on applying to another country? Like if you apply to the US, yeah, not America. Yeah, if you apply to US, IB is obviously going to be worth it. And like for example, but in Canada, like there are some universities that might consider it, but uh, is okay. Wait. I got a new question. Sorry. Is this about IB or martial art? Please ask relevant questions. Yes. I almost forgot the whole theme of today's live streams. Yeah. So let's try to keep the questions more on topic, guys. So if you're asking about IB, then maybe that's for something else, but not for this live stream. But I kind of already gave my answer, right? Is John Jones the best pound for pound fighter of all time? I'm sorry, Coffee. I don't quite know who John Jones is. I'm I'm not very familiar with like the weight categories in fighting, like the lightweight, heavyweight. I don't not really like in karate that's not really much of a thing. Like, and like you have to like get used to like sparring against people like of all different sizes, and that's something that I've come to learn. But yeah, I really don't know who John Jones is, so I'm sorry, I really can't answer that question. Show us your karate gi. Well, it's currently in the laundry, so I can't really show it. Sorry. But I mean, you've seen it on my videos. Like, why do you need to? Why do you need me to show it? Like, you've already seen it on my videos. So if you really want to see it, you can just check those out and there. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't show it right now. And yeah, just it's in the. Yes, you're right. Karate is not about fighting. Only it's not just. There isn't just. What I will say is in a way, it's a little bit about fighting. Like there is a combat side to it, all right? There is a combat. That's why we learn all those like kata applications and all that, all right? There is a combat side to it. But yes, you're right. It's not all about combat or fighting. There's other aspects of it as well, which apply to other martial arts as well. Mm. Is Mr. Miyagi the second best sensei of all time after Nishant Sensei? Oh my god. Honestly, Coffee, I really, really appreciate you saying that, but I honestly think Mr. Miyagi's a would be a better sensei and was a better sensei than I am currently. Because like, obviously, for one, he had way more experience than the amount I have right now. But also, like, I'd say he's a very, very wise. He was very wise. And what I really liked about him is that he always tried to avoid fighting when possible. If you rewatch the old Karate Kid movies, you'll notice that he only fought or like used like his karate when necessary, right? And he I think he even said in like one of the movie itself that he only fights when necessary. And I quote, he said that fighting is not good. Somebody always gets hurt. That's why he like tried to stay away from fights, avoid fights at all times, right? And that also goes back to another point that karate isn't just about fighting. There's also other stuff too. Like in self-defense, when any self-defense class you take, whatever martial art, the number one rule they teach you is if possible, like whether the person has a weapon or something with them trying to beat you or something, the number one thing you should do is exit, get out of there. Like don't try to fight them when you know that something really bad's going to happen, and then your cops might get involved, you have to justify and all that. Like just avoid. And even Jackie Chan and like other like fighters have said this, the best fights are the ones we avoid, right? The best fights are the ones we avoid because no one gets hurt, and that's what's really good. That's what we want, all right? So that's the thing with Mr. Miyagi. Like I really liked his belief in not like always fighting to prove that he is a sensei or to prove that he teaches students and how to fight aggressively. He like did it to show that fighting isn't good because anybody in that fight, one person, the other, or both of them, all of them will get hurt. So yes, I'd say he is one of the best senseis out there, and it's just such a tragedy that the actor who played Mr. Miyagi passed away almost exactly 2 decades ago. That was a big tragedy, and even in Cobra Kai they mentioned that you use the art only when needed. That's absolutely true. That's very true. You only use it when necessary, right? So is karate for defense only. Well, I will say for sure that the big part of karate is defending yourself, but it's not about defense only, right? There's other stuff to it as well. You know, like there are times where you have to be a bit offensive, and that's what you learn in sparring as well. When you're sparring, you can't always be on the defensive side. You also have to like attack like yourself. You have to be offensive at times. So no, karate isn't only about defense, but defense is a big part of it, especially when it comes to the self-defense side of things. Because in self-defense, you do not want to be the one to trigger a fight or like cause it. Because then if the cops get involved, you have no reason to like, no way of legally justifying yourself. But if the person attacks you first and then you use that same level of aggression on them, then yes, you can, that's how you can justify it yourself. You know, you can be like, Your Honor, I'm a black belt. I didn't want to hurt this man, but I had to do what I had to do because he provoked this whole scene first, right? Have you ever used it when it is necessary? Have you ever used karate outside the dojo? So I have been a strong believer of keeping the martial art you learn limited to like in the dojo. And I don't really want to say that I used it outside the dojo because I've never been in a street fight before. I've never been in a situation where I had to use traditional karate techniques that I learned from the dojo in that scenario, right? That's why I don't say that I used it outside the dojo, but there were times where I had to use the defense skills I learned from the dojo outside. It also has to come with thinking smart, not just being able to like physically fight. All right. So yes, that's like one way I used it when necessary. And like I used it, I used those skills I learned only if somebody like tried to hurt me first. Because obviously like, and I even learned this through my experience in self-defense that like sometimes like de-escalation is always the number one rule of thumb when it comes to like a real life self-defense situation. But at the same time, we have to realize that we can't just de-escalate right away by saying, stop, please, I don't want to fight. We can't, that won't always work. Sometimes you have to escalate in order to de-escalate. That's what my grandmaster told me, right? So like if they do something like you might use a little bit of force on them, and that's sometimes all you need in order to, you know, de-escalate the situation. So yeah, that's another really important point I'd like to mention about using karate outside the dojo. But these are great questions, guys. These are very important to talk about because there are a lot of Matthew B. What's good, Nishant? Well, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Matthew B? Okay, yeah. So what I was saying is that it's very important because some people the martial arts they learn at the dojo or whatever place they learn it, whatever it's called, they sometimes don't quite understand how to use it outside. And sometimes that can lead to them using it not just ineffectively, but also to an extent where it's like not like appropriate, right? So that's why you really got to understand within your martial arts training, like when is it really appropriate to use it? When is it necessary to use it? And when should I not use it? Very important as well. Matt. Yo, what's up, Matt? Glad you could join. Yeah. Matt, please don't time people out. Please don't time people out, all right? Please do not time people out, all right? I don't want that. We need more people on the stream. If you time people out, that's not, that's, please, that's really not okay. Like only time people out if they like say something or do something which is not very appropriate. Said something that offended you? Like what? Hey, let me scroll back. Bro, Matt, come on. Seriously? It might have been an accident. Well, I mean, if it was an accident, that's fine. But I'm just saying, please don't purposely time people out unless they did something like bad, which in this case, no one did. People have been asking really like valid questions and good questions. So I don't want people to get timed out. Nisha, how many street fights have you been in? So I was actually, Matt, before you joined, I was actually saying, I've never been in any like actual street fights against a thug. Luckily, I have not. But I have gotten into like physical fights before, like and like all that, you know. But that was back in the day, back when I was in elementary school and all that. But no, I have not been in a street fight, which I am very, very glad I haven't, because in today's world, literally anything can happen. You never know what somebody has on them. You never know what might be going on in their mind. And that's why another important thing I've learned in karate is trusting your instincts. All right. If your instincts tell you something about some guy, like, and it's not the same as assumptions, all right? Assumptions is another thing, but instincts is what you're feeling based on something like bad, like, or sketchy about the person who is there. All right. If you feel like if they're acting weird with you and like they're doing, if you like you don't you're not comfortable with, you gotta like trust your instinct. You have to be like, okay, if this person, like, I don't feel like being good around this person, just leave. Right. Sensei, what's the best food slash snack drink to refuel after a fight? That's an excellent question, Coffee. I'm glad you asked that. Because yes, nutrition is extremely important, not just in like in a fight, but like in general, like to maintain a healthy like lifestyle, and especially for the martial arts as well. And I'll say that Gatorade is a great drink. Like I remember when before I tested for my second black belt, I was my like a lot of the senseis said that not only water, like water, yes, that's also another drink you should have. Like we need water. You like don't neglect water, right? But along with water, you also need Gatorade because Gatorade has those like vitamins that water doesn't, which will help you refuel and will help you give you that energy. That's why Gatorade is an energy drink because it really gives you that energy. All right. So I'll say water and Gatorade are the two drinks you must have to refuel after a fight. Matt, if you got offered to fight McGregor in the UFC tomorrow, would you take it? Well, McGregor is way more experienced and he would probably defeat me, so I don't think so. And tomorrow I have other plans, so I wouldn't be able to fight tomorrow. Baljit, hello, thanks for joining. Um, let's just wait, I just have to do something here. All right, how's it going? It's going good. How's your day going? Can't believe I've been streaming for almost 2 hours at this point. You know, it's yeah. How long would you survive a Mr. Beast last to leave challenge? Okay, if we're talking about Mr. Beast, I like okay, don't get me wrong, I have watched some of his videos on like those challenges he does and all that, but I'm not too familiar with them, so I would not I wouldn't know too much about the last to leave challenge. So, but I think I I could survive it depending on whether I believe I can or not. Like it's like my mindset is that anything, like nothing is impossible unless you believe it to be. Meaning anything is possible so long as you don't like think of it as something impossible, right? Sensei, if I accidentally ate a tub of cow toenails, would I have to wash my hair? I'm asking for a friend. Make sure the questions are appropriate, guys. Matt, that's a bit of a weird question, and in the rules of the live stream, I strictly stated no weird questions, so just be mindful of that, all right? All right, let's get some more questions. Oh, we're at 8 likes. That's good. And we're at 7 people watching. Yeah, so to all of you watching, I just like to say that that whatever like I oh wait, I got it. Please be respectful on this channel. If not, please leave. Wait, Coffee's asking, are you running for president in 2028? You do know to be president of the US, you have to be born in the US, right? You like someone born in Canada can't be president of the US. So yeah, no. I can't I would love to if I had the experience and if I was a US citizen, but because I don't have those, I can't run for president in 2028. I wasn't expecting you to ask a question like that, Coffee, but I appreciate it. Um, is it okay to use my karate skills on unexpected moments? For an example, I see someone walking down the street, and I go make them tap out. Matt, no, don't do that. Remember, you own like if somebody provokes a fight first and they're the one attacking you first, you are legally justified to use that same amount of force on them. All right. And that's why if the cops are like you get involved or you have to go to court or something, at least you have a way of legally justifying yourself. You can be like, for example, if you're a black belt and you were involved in that, you can be like, Your Honor, I'm a black belt and I did not want to hurt the person, but I just had to do what I had to do to de-escalate the situation. It goes back to the point I was making. You have to sometimes escalate to de-escalate in order to de-escalate, right? So no, don't just see someone on the street and go and just attack them using your skills, all right? Please don't do that. Is it legal or illegal? Is it legal to illegally hurt someone? It's within the question itself. You're illegally hurting them. So how would it be legal? Please think before you write these questions, all right? I want good questions being asked. Okay, anything else? If my name is Kyle, how old is karate? When was it started and where? Okay, I don't know what having a name of Kyle has to do in this case, but karate is pretty old. And it goes back to like centuries and centuries ago, but it was brought to I think from what I remember, karate was brought to North America, like the US, the United States and Canada in around 1936 by founding father of karate named Jichin Funakoshi. You know, from like of course he was from Japan. You know, he was one of the founding fathers of karate. So yeah, that's how old it is. Like I don't know how old specifically it is like before that, but so I can say for how long it's been in North America for. And yeah, that's pretty much what I could say to answer your question. What is a good age to start karate? Well, I started karate at the age of 4. All right. So 4 is a great age. Like there's no specific age to starting any martial art. All right. Like you can start it when you're 20. You can start it even when some people even start karate when they're 40. Like believe it or not, there are some people who come to dojo. They're in their like mid 40s, or I think some of them are even 50, and they just start on karate. But to gain the most out of your experience, people start at a young age so that by the time they're in their 50s, 60s, they'll have plenty of experience. Then they'll be able to use that experience and teach more and more people over time. Have you ever thought about quitting karate? And if so, how did you overcome that doubt? Um, Coffee, I'm really glad you asked that question because that's a question that actually does resonate with me a lot. I remember when I first started off in karate, like when I was like at the age of 5, 6, even until like the age of 9 or something, there were a lot of instances at my dojo where I felt like giving up because I felt like I wasn't able to do what was taught. I felt like I just wasn't that like the type of student built for karate, and that's what I did. Like so, yes, that's the first part of your question I'm answering. I did have thoughts about quitting karate, but I overcame that because I overcame that by remembering that whatever boring stuff I was being taught at the moment that was making me feel like quitting, that stuff is what I need. It's like one of the stepping stones I need to becoming a black belt, right? And considering where I am today, I am so, so grateful that I did not quit karate. I never quit. Never even got remotely close to quitting it, no matter how many thoughts I got about quitting. And moreover, I'm so glad that I had the right people by my side to keep encouraging me to keep going. All right. So, yeah, that's how I overcame those thoughts about quitting. Have you ever watched a kangaroo jump vertically, then horizontally? Um, I don't really watch kangaroos, so I don't know about that. Please ask relevant questions, Matt. Sensei, what is your go-to MHS lunch fast food? Matt, I said please ask relevant questions today's stream, all right? What is your favorite food? Okay, guys, please try to keep the questions relevant to today's stream, all right? I do have a favorite food, but I'm not going to talk about it, right? Like on this stream, all right? This stream is about like what's in the title of the video, you know? No, it's okay, gallery. I'm just here to remind, all right? Remind you, all right? Nishant, yeah, what is it, Matt? You already asked me what's good when you join the stream. Okay, well then, I guess it is coming. I mean, actually, no, it's. No, actually, wait, there's some more questions. Is your last name really Sensei, or is it that just for the channel? So, of course, my last name isn't Sensei, like the name, like last name I was born with, but Sensei is the title I received for getting a black belt in karate. Whenever you get your first black belt, or like your junior black belt, you get the title of Sensei, and that remains with you like throughout the rest of your journey in karate, no matter what. All right, like you don't get deranked from like there. All right. And so, but at the same time, I didn't just make it up for this channel, right? I genuinely am a sensei because I earned that rank, right? I earned it, all right? So no, it's not my last name, but I didn't just choose it for the channel namesake, right? It's like a title that I actually earned. You know, what if I knocked someone out on sparring and got scared, then dragged them in the sea and trapped them there? Matt, honestly, I don't really understand half these questions you're asking me and like where you're getting these thoughts from. Like, I don't know how, like, in a sparring match, you take someone and drag them into a sea. Like, if you're in a ring, where are you gonna find a sea? Like, I don't really quite get that. Okay, next question. Why is it Nishant Sensei and not Sensei Nishant? Another Another great question. So certain dojos have a different order of saying things. Some dojos say sensei and then the person's name. But from the dojo where I've been trained in and where I come from, they say the person's first name first and then sensei, which is why it's Nishant Sensei, not Sensei Nishant. So it really depends on which dojo you're trained at. If if you do. Okay. Have you ever fought someone before? I have never gotten into like a street fight, as I've said, but there were times where I did have to defend myself when there were some like people who were going out of control on me. All right. But no, I have never like hurt someone or never hurt someone to the point where like they like ended up paralyzed in the hospital or stuff. I just protected myself. Right. Um, I know where you got the name Sensei from. It's from Cobra Kai. You think we didn't notice? No, it's not from Cobra Kai. I got the title of Sensei like right when Cobra like no, actually I did get it halfway through Cobra Kai, but it's not something the title Sensei existed even before Cobra Kai existed, Matt. So what you're saying is incorrect. Do you have your G1 so you can drive to the dojo? No, I have not gotten my G1 yet, but I'm planning to get it soon. Have you ever fought someone not in street fight but in like class or something? Nope. Believe it or not, I have never fought in class. All right. Like, yes, we've gone, like, I've had verbal, like, disputes with my friends and all that, but I've never, like, had a physical fight with anyone in the class. All right. Like, never. Have you ever eaten a penny? If so, from which country? Matt, please, for the love of God, stop asking weird questions. All right. I said in the rules of this live stream that no weird questions should be asked. All right. So I don't know why you're asking me if I need a penny and from which, like, please just stop that. And yeah, so to answer Gellert's question, no, I just want to say that, yeah, so Gellert, to answer your question, yeah, no, I have never fought anyone in class. Never have. Other than just verbally fighting, but not physical. Sensei, I will stop if you give me back my mod. You know what? Why not? All right, Matt, there you go. Okay, look, Matt, the reason why I removed you as moderator is because I need less people as moderator. I don't need 10 different moderators on this channel. I need the people who I know personally and who I know will like not ask anything weird in the chats to, to be my moderators, all right? Not just anyone. Does your dojo have a vending machine? So, I think our old dojo location had a vending machine, but as of today, no, our dojo does not have a vending machine, but they have a whole drink stand where like you just give $1, and put $1 in the jar and you can buy a Gatorade or $2 for water, like something like that. So it's not a vending machine, but you have we can pay for, drinks and all that. Sensei, will you do a house tour? Um, Gellert, I don't really feel comfortable doing a house tour because I don't want to like expose where I live too much, to people. So I prefer not to. Sensei, what is your nickname at the dojo? Nishant Sensei. That's always what I'm referred to at the dojo. Either Nishant Sensei or Nishant Sensei. All right. Those are my three nicknames at the dojo. Yeah, and even what people call me in real life. It's either Nishant Sensei or Nishant Sensei. Never by my like actual last name, or anything. Yeah. Okay, guys, well, I've been streaming here for a bit more than 2 hours, so I think it's time for me to close this stream up. And I just wanted to say, for those of you who have been here for at least the past hour, I really appreciate that. And oh, Sensei, will there ever be another music video? Music video, well, I'm working towards another one to release next year, but I have like a plan for a few. There are certain like music, like there are certain videos or like songs which I've actually created lyrics for, like my own lyrics to make it like sensei themed. But I haven't like created like a plan for like exactly, which one I'm going to drop. Like, there's Sensei's Paradise, there's I'm Sensei, there's, like those are like the songs I've renamed by using Sensei. Like Sensei's Plan was a pretty much a banger back in April. So I'm hoping next year I can probably do another one like that. Have you ever licked the floor at the dojo wondering what it tastes like? Matt, again, please stop it with those questions. We're still vibing to Sensei's Plan. Oh yeah, people still vibe to that. And some people have even said I should drop it on Spotify. The issue is I don't know if I'll be able to, first of all, and I don't really know how you would drop a song on Spotify as just an ordinary person. But yes, Sensei's Plan was a banger, and a lot of people really like. I got so much credit for it. I mean, because I like made the whole music video myself, no assistance. So, but a lot of people were like, "Man, you're gonna be like the next Drake." You know what I'm saying? Sensei, a plan goes harder on mute. Not quite sure what that means, Matt. W song, best song ever. I know, right? Honestly, believe it or not, Sensei's plan, I had actually started drafting of in September of last year, September of 2023. At that point, originally my plan was I was going to drop it at the end of November of 2023. But then things kind of got in my way and all that, so I decided to postpone it to April 19th of 2024 this year. So that's how, that's like the whole plan. Like when you create a music video of your own, not only do you have to consider like ethically, you have to consider like, like you have to give credit to the person who made the original one. You have to do that type of stuff, but you also have to like plan accordingly, like which days you're going to be able to film it. For me, believe it or not, it took a few months for me to like properly like edit that full music video, like that Sensei's plan, right? And in addition to that, it had taken me 2 months to write out the whole like script and what I'm going to do in the music video, like what I'm going to like the lyrics, so there's a lot of like planning that goes into that. Sensei, go to artist.spotify to upload a song on Spotify. Coffee, thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Like this whole time I've been wondering, like since Sensei's Plan premiered like 6 months ago, I've been thinking like people have been telling me to drop it on Spotify, but I never like learned how, and I thought that it was impossible considering that I'm not like a musical artist, or I'm not like Drake, Travis Scott, or anything like that. So I wasn't sure if an ordinary person like me would be able to upload a music video like that. Sensei, do you turn on the lights in your house to see your kicks? Well, I turn on the light when natural light isn't enough, all right? And I turn on the light when I live stream because, I the light from outside, doesn't isn't always enough, but yeah. Do you have a problem, Matt? No, no, no one has a problem here. Let's keep everything respectful, guys. Don't ask others, do you have a problem? Just be respectful, all right? Sensei, what footwear should I have when fighting? Well, footwear, I don't know if you mean footwear or if you're like talking about like equipment, because there is a lot of like handy equipment you need to have when sparring and fighting. Like different dojos have a different like gear etiquette when like fighting. Like our dojo, like if you're doing like full contact sparring, you need to wear like those full like body like shields. Like it's kind of like it's made out of like some foam material. You have to wear like shin pads, you have to wear gloves, you have to sometimes in some cases to protect your, head and your face, you have to wear like a full helmet. It really depends on like from which dojo you come from. But like, Howard, why don't you mind your business? Don't make me tell him Sensei Nishant go to your house. Okay, Matt, that's going a bit too far. I might need to remove you for saying that. Like, we don't tell people to go back to their house. They do not say that. If you do say that, anything like that again, I will have to remove you from the stream. Sensei, how many punches have you thrown in your life? Okay, I don't really know how I'd answer that question because um, I've like how am I supposed to keep track of how many punches I've thrown in my life? Like I every day I throw like 100 punches or something, and I've been doing this for like years now, so I can't really tell you an exact number of how many punches I've thrown like in my whole life. You have no respect at all, Matt. Learn that first. What amount of okay, guys, please, let's be respectful in the chat. One of the rules of this live stream was be respectful to everyone. So I don't like this beef going on between the two people, all right? I don't like that. What amount of strikes have landed? What percentage? Well, I mean, the probability of a strike landing, it really depends on a few things. It depends like where you're trying to strike. If you're trying to strike someone where their hands are up and like they're guarding it, the probability is that you will not most likely not be able to land it. But it's like if you're trying to strike someone somewhere where they're not protecting it or they don't know how to protect, then yes, you do have a high percentage of landing it. Let's stop the arguments, guys. Yes, please, guys, I don't want any arguments, all right? This is a safe space for everyone, all right? Okay, well then, guys, it's been more than 2 hours. I think it's time for me to wrap up the stream. And Joshua is not my name, Sensei. I didn't call you Joshua. What if you fall when sparring? Here's the thing. In sparring, when you fall, yes, it's like not a bad thing, and you might expect people to like have like your opponent especially to have compassion for you, but in a sparring match in karate, like even if someone falls, even when they're on the ground, you have the right to attack them. And that's just how it works, not just in karate, but even in like MMA as well. Like if your opponent falls, you like there that is one moment where you can't really show much mercy then. Like you do have the right to, attack them when they fall. That's why like in sparring, if you like do a leg takedown on someone, like you can like, and even if they're down, you still can like finish off with like a punch to the chest or face in some cases, but like light contact, not too hard. How many record fights have you been in, and how many have you won or lost? Um, how many record fights have I been in? I've already said I haven't been in any street fights, and I haven't really been in any like in real intense like fights before, so I don't really know how to answer your question. Did Cobra Kai invent karate? Coffee, I think you know. No, no, Cobra Kai did not invent karate. Jichin Funakoshi invented karate. All right. No, karate fights. Oh, you mean karate fights? Well, at the dojo, I've sparred many times against different opponents. And that's the thing. In karate, like you will have to spar against people and you will have to like work with people who are like not always the same size as you, not the same height, not the same weight class as you, like like you do need to get that experience with working with different kinds of people because if you're only stuck to like training with what like certain types of people who are only like around your size and all that, you're not going to develop that like habit of being able to adapt to changes. All right, because there will be times where you will have to you will have to like fight different like people. Sensei, how many gold medals have you won? Well, gold medals, like the thing is, I, how do I say this? Like, I, I'll say I've probably won like one or two. I don't remember. Like, I don't really like fight for like medals, if I'm being honest, like I mainly like spar for fun. I don't like do it just for, just to show people, oh, I'm better than everyone. Like, that's not the point. Um, are you the worst black belt in your dojo? Be honest. Matt, I don't take that disrespect, all right? Like please be respectful, all right? I'm not the worst black belt. I am a great one. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I am a good one. And I teach certain stuff, good morals, values, which other senseis, other black belts do not teach, all right? So please be a bit mindful of the questions you ask, all right? What's the most fire belt color? Um, the thing is, in different dojos, like for the most part in dojos, black belt, like 10th degree black belt is the highest. But some other styles of karate have red belt. And some dojos consider red belt like slightly better than black belt. But again, it's like I said, it really depends on the type of dojo you're at, all right? If your dojo has the red belt system, red belt will be considered a bit better. But if your dojo only has like black belt like degrees, then that's the most fire belt color. Sensei, is there a Ninja Turtles belt? If so, how can I obtain it? There is no such thing as Ninja Turtle belt, all right? Okay, guys. Now, because we only have 2 people left on the stream, I think I'm going to have to end it. But I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you guys on the next stream, all right? So take care. Wait, okay, last question. Are belt colors limited to the visible light spectrum? Um, Well, I don't really quite get what you mean by that, but all right. See you guys. I have to leave the stream now. Psych, just kidding. No, I'm not leaving. But I do have to leave like soon because all right, yeah, see you, Matt. I hope you have a great day. Right? But I will have to end the stream kind of soon. But I'll take like a few more questions, but I also have other things I have to do, so I kind of will need to end it in like 10 minutes. Sensei, wait, yeah, what is it, Matt? Any other questions? Can Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Um, can you sign your gloves and ship them to me? I have two pairs of gloves. I have these black ones and these blue ones. So I mean, I do have some other pairs of gloves which I could sign and ship, but I don't really know who you are, Matt, and I don't know where you live, and I don't really know the process. So, but that's a plan for the future. And any big karate plans for tonight, Sensei? Well, I do have a plan of having another training session for my tournament next month, but other than that, nothing else very big. Yeah. All right. It's time for me to end the stream, guys. So again, thank you all so much, for attending. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the next one. Bye.